Welcome back, you guys. Glad to have you guys joining back in with us. We're going to walk around and show you some awesome things that we found and kind of give you a little garden tour.
Alright, so this is the strawberry update. As you can see, we lost a few, but see, they're coming back. But look, they're getting their berries again, so they're really starting to establish. But even the ones we lost, they're coming back. But other ones did great. The only problem we're finding is the robins can now sit right here and eat them. So that's going to have to be addressed because it's like a little buffet farm. But they are doing good. They're getting beautiful berries on them. So this is what we're looking for. Something that they could kind of hang and cluster and make it easier to pick and keep them cleaner so they don't, but that is just, the robin will sit right here and eat them. So we have some beautiful little, there's some of them are small, but they're beautiful. Beautiful. Oh, there's a nice one there. There's a nice one. A couple nice ones in here. There's another one. But they're coming out nice. So next year, that'll finish filling out and they'll be a little bit heavier. Like this is pretty much a full-size plant, but it'll get a little bit bigger. But next year, it'll be just producing beautiful, beautiful berries. So that idea is really coming out good. It just takes a little while for them to get in and get established. So we got a little bit of mess on the ground from the weeding, but don't worry about that. But just wanted to show you the eggplant. So we've got, now this is one that's actually bloomed and already starting to form. They got little prickers on them. They'll stick you. You can see over here the beautiful little flowers. Now as this flower develops more, it'll turn into this. And as this develops, the eggplant will actually, this is a hard case right here. And the eggplant will grow out of that. And it's like a protective coating. Oh, here's a beautiful, here's what I'm talking about. See how that's coming out of there? Can you see that in there?
Wow.
See, now that's going to be, it'll get about another 6 inches and it'll be ready. So these have got flowers on them. They've got some started. The black beauties are a little bit slower. Our okra is finally kicked in now. So the okra here, all right, watch out, wasp. The okra here is just turning beautiful. So these are getting, finally, this is Alabama red, and this is Jinga orange here. So they're finally starting to go, and I've still got more weeds, so don't judge me on that. But over here, this is where it's getting exciting, my peppers. Oh, look here. You can see this one. Look at the size of that one. So they are here. That one's got a huge one on it. A lot of them have big ones on them. So now we've got to let them turn. Now, a lot of people ask me that they didn't understand what I was talking about when I was planting these. All green peppers start green. Now these will turn yellow here. This one that I just showed you, that will, when it turns ripe, it'll turn yellow. So you all of a sudden you'll start seeing yellow stripes in it, and it'll slowly turn to all yellow. Just like the red down here, the orange. But every pepper, bell pepper, starts green and then turns to its color when it's fully ripe. So if you're looking for like a stir fry and you want to come out and get some yellow, you can get some red, you can get some orange, and you can get some greens off these here because you're always going to have green ones. They're just not quite at 100% peak ripeness, but they'll taste just as good. Just won't have that color you're looking for. Our sweet peppers down here. And out here, wow, look at these, how these are getting big. Now here's a problem we have down here in the south that a lot of people in the north won't have. But when they're small and the leaves are not yet fully developed, you see these are getting bushier and bushier. But that's sun scald. Now that won't actually hurt the plant. You can still eat it, but we'll probably end up throwing that away. I just noticed that. But as these mature, they're going to get bushier and they'll protect their fruit a little bit better. Some people will actually take this and top this, and what it does is then it makes it branch out more and makes a bushier plant, and they say that helps in the south. I've never really tried it, but it's something you can try. You can do a little research on it if you want. But you just give them a little time, they'll get nice and bushy and they'll protect themselves. And we get more than we can eat off these, so it's not like we need to try to get a couple more. We get plenty. This is my cow peas, so they're doing good. Looks like I might have to, I've never done these before. So looks like we're gonna have to put some kind of trellis or something. They're kind of like a runner bean, it looks like. So we're gonna have to figure out a little way to kind of bunch these up. And that's the black-eyed peas there. The onions are still going. They're getting bigger. You can see here, here's a good one. See, they're getting bigger. They're getting good. Get in there. Now some people call that spooning and they'll go around, and I have not had time this year but people call it different stuff. But they'll go around and they'll take a knife or a spoon, I guess from spooning, that's what they call it that, and you just open this up. This bulb does not like, they say, to be fighting to get a space. So that's why we use a real loose soil, so it usually doesn't find. But if you go around each one of these, and they'll keep these open around each one of them, it allows that bulb to grow with no competition from the soil at all. So if you got these sitting out in the sun where the dirt gets a little bit harder, that might be really necessary, but we've never really had a problem with it. But as you can see, our bulbs are finally starting to turn a little bit bigger. We pulled a few of them. They are sweet, they are good to eat, they are delicious. So we're gonna let these other ones get a little bit bigger. But you can see when these start, about here, about the bottom of the neck, this is a good one you can see. When these start turning, these will fall, and then these will fall over, and that means they're pretty much done. When those fall over and just kind of give up, you know, they can't stand anymore on their own, that's pretty much when you're gonna be ready to harvest. So wind, storm, anything can cause. Now, like if you did get a big bad storm come through and knock all your tops down, you can trim these back. It does not hurt them to trim them back. And if you like chives in your food, like we don't do that, but a lot of people like chives in their food. So when this was younger, you could sit here and cut this off, cut it off, and what it is you can take this stalk now, basically this is what it is, and you can take this and mince, you know, with the knife, and you just, you know, cut it up, and now you've got your chives for, oh, that smells so good. This smells so good. So you can do different things with them. What do you want? You can take these also. You can take these and you can turn them into under powder. You can dry these out and then make onion powder out of them if you want to go the extra step. We haven't yet. Maybe one day we will. Maybe we'll make those chives. Maybe we'll make that onion powder. But right now we got so much going on and full-time job, and we don't have the time to do that. But it's something you can look into, and it's another way to get a little bit more value out of your product. Grapes this year, you watched our earlier videos, we got hit with a late frost. But we lost all of our grapes this year, but as you can see, the plants themselves have come back beautifully. So now I'm gonna get these back up and get them where they belong, up into the cattle panels. This one I already got going, but unfortunately we did lose a lot. Let's see here. We got our sweet potato here. This is doing good. I can't wait to see what happens with that. We planted that in there just to try it out. We never done it. But here's something really awesome. We just started these. These are smaller ones. We got one in the house that are bigger. Now that's our purple cauliflower. That is beautiful. And man, is it heavy. We got a couple of those here that we just picked. We got some people coming to get. We got some smaller ones yet in here. Now we can get in here and get these cucumbers back up. Oh, well, I'll get back to those in a second. Look at this one here. This is the cheddar. Look at the size of that thing. That one's going to somebody today. They're coming to get it here shortly. That is beautiful. We got a lot of them. Oh, here's another. Just beautiful. Now you can see how these are filled in nice and solid. And you can see this one here is just about ready, but it's still got to fill in just a little bit more. It's getting its size, but it hasn't, it's still got holes you can see down in there. And this will fill in like this one. And we got a bunch more little smaller ones. So that is doing, cauliflower came out awesome this year. But one thing we got to get on, I just noticed this, is look at the pickles. Look at these. Look at the cucumbers. That's too big. I mean, you can make it, but that's actually too big. This is about where you want it. Somewhere in here, maybe. Look at how thick these things are in here. Wow, they're all over. That's perfect size for spears. For slicing, you'd want to go there. But oh my goodness,
There's another one in there.
They are full. Look at the size. Yes, they are full. Oh, and back in there, jeez, love it. Love this time of year when things are starting to come around. Just beautiful, beautiful. Cucumbers are ready for pickling. That means you're going to start getting busy. Potatoes, they're starting to look iffy at times. Some of them are, I think, getting ready to start turning on us. We'll have to keep up with those. Cauliflower, collard greens. She still hasn't made me a mess of those yet. She's still waiting. She's been putting that up on me. But here's what she's excited about. What's this, Donna?
Peanuts.
They're peanuts. Now, like I was saying earlier when I did, now I planted 2 per thing because you want to weed them out. You want to give them room. Like I only had one come up here, one come up there, one come up there, but two came up here. Both of them came up. Only one came up here, one up, got one starting on the side. So what I'm going to do is give these another week or two, see which ones are stronger, and I'll get rid of one of them. Or I might even try transplanting them. I haven't even tried that before. But you need them, give them plenty of space. So some of them down there, maybe I can transplant these down there. I've never tried transplanting. But while you're there, you can see those tomato clusters. Wow. These are getting big. Look at that. Beautiful. We got tomatoes starting. Now I just gotta wait for some green ones. But they are there. Oh, gotta get these back up. This one fell over me. I need to get it back up. Get it back on the trellis. Always something to do. Green beans. Okay, I'll let it come over here. Aha. See? Look at here. We got green beans. These will be ready tomorrow probably. Start picking them. There's one that's about ready. Let's see if we get in here. Start digging around. Oh yes. Now see there, that one's ready. That one's ready. There's just a few of them. Now green beans is one of them things. They're just, these are bush beans. All these are just, they don't run like a runner bean does. But you got to pick them. The more you pick them, the more they'll produce. So if you don't pick them, they just kind of go stagnant. So you gotta keep picking them. The more you pick them, the more they're gonna produce. So that's something that you gotta, once they start producing, you need to be out here every day picking them. That way you're not having to pick the little ones and too big of ones. You pick the ones that are just right. You come out here every day, every 2 days the most, and you can keep up and you will get a ton of beans. Now, once the cabbage is up, or cauliflower, excuse me, is up, I'm gonna probably plant some more green beans over there for later, because when these stop growing, we'll have those that'll be just starting. So our peas, we can get over here to our peas. Our carrots we've already done. We've already processed them, so those are out, and I gotta figure out what to put in there. Our lettuce, well, we're here, I guess. Our lettuce is, some of it's starting to bolt, so it's getting hot, so it's bolting. But we got fresh starting, the Malabar and different ones we've got started. So we got more coming. So we're still getting fresh lettuce every day. Real quick on the peas here. As you see, we've left them alone. And let's see here. Oh, here's a good one. All right. We let them dry out. And these are nice and dry. And we will let them continue to dry for a little bit longer after we pull them out. And then these will be ours for next year. So you don't have to go out and spend your money every year. So right now, where's our little pan? Over there. Oh, come on over here anyway. Now we got to be careful nowadays. Our runners, as you can see, are starting to go on. Okay, now this is your spaghetti squash, your winter squash here. Okay, we got our bulbs, our blooms starting here on our squash. This is well, down here. You've actually got one started right here. Now that will be your spaghetti squash. That's when you open them up and they look just like spaghetti on the inside. If you've never opened one up, if you've never tried one, try it. Go to the store. They've got them pretty much year round because these store really, really well. Even in your own home, you can, these will store in a cool area like a pantry that's a little bit cooler than the rest of the house. You don't want them to get hot, and they will store really well. But when you open them up, you slice them open, and you're gonna bake them just like you would in the oven. And then when you take that spoon or a fork and you start scraping the inside of that, and it actually comes out looking like spaghetti noodles. And that's where it gets its name, spaghetti squash. It looks just like spaghetti noodle. And you take some, whatever your brand, ragu or whatever, spaghetti sauce, pour a little bit on that and try it for just a quick appetizer or just a break in the middle of the day. It is awesome. It's quick, it's easy, and it's delicious, and it's fresh, and it's so much better for you than pasta is. So over here, now we get our zucchini, and these are better, like here, let's see, we've got some ready here. I'm gonna go ahead and pick, let's see, there's a good one. Let's pick this one here right now. Now be careful. Be careful when you're picking these that you don't cut into your plants. So use a knife. Don't try to break it, because you break it, you can tear it, And the more damage you do, you put out, these put out, when I cut this, it put out an odor. Okay, I can't smell it, you can't smell it, but bugs can. Squash bugs can. When you start picking this stuff, that's when they start coming, because now you start putting this smell out. Just like if you were to break that leaf or break it, it can cause a place for disease or bugs to attract that. So make sure you're careful on how you pick them. But you can go a little bit bigger or you can go smaller. The smaller ones are more tasty. The smaller the seeds, you don't have the problem with the seeds. Let's see what else. I'm gonna go ahead and get this other one here. Careful, get in there and get it. Like I said, you can go a little bit bigger, but we got so many, we're gonna eat them at this size and they're gonna be awesome. Let's see. That's all I got on the yellow squash. What do we have on the green squash here, babe? What do we have? A lot of little ones there. We got some that'll be ready. I know that one I'm gonna give it another day or two. Oh wow, look at all of them in here. I'm gonna get this one here. This one. Just so we can have some color. That one could have went another day, but I think we're gonna go ahead and take it. Just so we can try it. I've been wanting to try it all year. I've been waiting on fresh zucchini. So we got a couple more in there that in the next day or two will be bigger than that, so I'm not worried about it. We got so many. Oh wow, here we go. Now here's what I'm talking about, how fast. There's about perfect size right there. That's about perfect size. Can you hand that, put it over there for me? But look at this. Oh, wait, you see this puppy. Oh, if I can get in here to it, not hurting anything. Oh, yes. Now that is right on the, if it gets any bigger than that, it's not going to be any good. So that's as big as you want to let them get. They will get like mini watermelons if you let them. So,
the dog thinks he's
when they get
something
bigger like that, that's fine. If you want some for next year, let them get bigger, let those seeds get bigger, then open it up, get your seeds out, and let your seeds dry out. So you want those bigger seeds for next year, but when you're trying to eat them, you don't want to be eating those big seeds. So there's plant. All right, I think we're good on that plant. Gotta check this plant back here. Oh, we got some back in here. Let's see here. I'm gonna let that one go another day. A couple of them in there if it needs another day. Those I'm gonna let, because we got some. Now these are our patties. Let's see. You can see them right there, but they're not really, I don't think they're ready. You think they should be a little bit bigger?
Actually, that one right there is ready.
Oh, on this plant over here?
Yep,
oh,
right there. That one is ready.
Right here.
It could go a little bit longer, but
We have not tried them. Well, the bulb has fell off, so that means it's pretty much done.
that's the perfect color. And yeah, I think it's ready.
Oh, we got some more in here, babe. Hold on. Let me move around a little bit here. Here's another one. We got a couple that are right on the cusp. I mean, give them another hour, I think they'll be ready to go.
Y'all get to pick fruit with us today.
So, here we got all of our babies. Oh, look at all the, oh, you see the beautiful crookneck in here? See all the beautiful, oh, there's a lot of them in there, but they're just not ready. They're a little slower this year than the other ones. But, they are there and they are beautiful. So we went over the peas.
Let's go down to tomatoes.
We can do the tomatoes. We're still waiting to see how big this puppy gets. It's still growing. This is that 1,000 head of kale, she called it. Beautiful. The kohlrabi, let's see here, we haven't checked on that yet. Kohlrabi is still growing, but it's not making them bulbs yet, so we're waiting to see. It's our first year with it. When we ordered our seeds from Baker Creek, because they do all heirloom at Baker Creek, and they're over in Missouri, so they're basically in the same grow area that we are, so whatever they test in their gardens, we know will grow in our gardens. So that's why we use them, and they're probably the biggest heirloom seed person around, and they definitely deliver quality seeds. So that was our free package. You order so many packages, you get a free one. So that's our free one this year. That's why we tried it. So It's like, oh wow. Can you see all those in there? Wow, thousands. There's hundreds of them in there. Beautiful, beautiful. Now this is where you have a problem. When they're over here and they start getting ripe, that dang dog will come right by and snack on it. He ain't no dummy. He will wait until they are ripe.
He does.
So
you'll watch him coming back to the house with his mouth full, chewing.
Yeah, chewing, giving himself away, smacking. So we got some beautiful big ones in here. They're starting, good sized ones in here. I keep these pruned up, but see, some of them will still get away from me. I got to keep them up. Now bring this one up, back up. But we just keep pruning them, and you can see how high they're getting. I mean, they're on a, what, about a foot and a half. Dirt's about a foot and a half off the ground, but they're almost at 5.5, 6 foot tall already. And they got a ways to go, because you've got all these that's going to be ripening down in here. And as they come up, real quick, I went over it. But I started with just the 2 runners, and I let that come up. And then I let another runner come off here once it got up a little higher, and you can see these huge clusters. And then as you come up, I let 2 more go. So now I'm going to bring this one back in. As we get up into the trellis, I'm going to let more of these arms going. But like I said, when you get up here, you don't want too many. So you need to pick these puppies off. Otherwise, you end up with just too many. And I got to get out here every week, and I got to go through this. And it's amazing how fast these things, when they get up here and they get a good burst of a warm rain, or especially more than we're watering, and they'll just do a little spike on us. But you got to be careful, because when you're coming up in here like this, I want off here, but you got to be careful, because right next to it you got all these fresh blooms that are coming off. So you wouldn't want to cut something off that's already got blooms started up this high, and we got the ones at the bottom. But it takes a while for them to turn, so it's just a time thing. I mean, they just kind of keep ripening as they go up. Careful of all the little bombs the dog leaves. Here's another one that kind of fell on me. And this one goes over there. It's supposed to come up, but apparently it broke. Oh, see, it did break right here. You got to be careful of that. When they start getting, that's another reason you keep them pruned up, so they don't get heavy, because it's bent on me here now. So I hopefully can straighten this up, and it will not, like this one here, it's starting to get heavy. So I'm going to need to worry about getting this one up before it falls on me. So there is a little bit of work with these. You've got to keep them up. Here's another one that's starting to fall. When they start getting this heavy, this one hasn't broke yet, but I've got to get this one up. If you're keeping them up, you got to work with them. So that's part of the deal. These are beautiful. Look at these. They're turning these beautiful color. I've never planted those. Those are a new one. Smurfberry or blueberry? Or
Blue cream.
Blue cream. They are beautiful looking though, that's for sure. But as you can see, our potatoes are starting to wilt. It looks like something's happening. Well, you know what's happening? They're getting ready to make taters. So that'll be a future video here shortly. But that's pretty much where we are with the garden right now. You want to go down the middle, show the cucumbers and the melons. Now here's our runner beans. They're running up, they're looking pretty. Alright, this here is a melon. We got plenty. Oh, there is a Kajari melon. See the stripes on it? It will become a dark green and orange eventually. Beautiful. This is...
It's a melon from India.
I wish you could try these, because they are the most awesome fruit you'll ever have. They blow away any cantaloupe or watermelon you've ever had. Alright, we're getting... Now, back to the... Oh dear, I'm only going to plant one thing in the garden. Oh, look how big this thing is now. What, a couple weeks later? It's taken over all this area. So, don't let your wife always do what she wants to do in the garden.
There's your butterflies.
They're dancing. Oh, it smells so good. It smells like spearmint
gum.
I
can smell it from right here.
It smells like spearmint gum. But, oh, look at the size of some of these. See, these are getting to the point where, can you get in there?
Yeah.
Oh, they're all over. Jeez, they're all over. We've got to get picking. Wow, we're getting so far behind. And I'm not sure what bug that is, but they're mating. Ah, they flew away. Dang it, before I get them. All right, so we know we need to get out here on our pickles, cucumbers, well, future pickles. So here's some more beans. These are our runner beans. These are, I think, old homesteads, I think. We get so many things planted. I'll know later when the different colors. So these are, well,
Those are the...
but these have the pinks. My scarlets are here someplace. They died out on me. They're down here, but they just, for some reason, they didn't do well this year. Right there. I only saved a few beans from last year. The Dino kale. So that's all the kale's doing. Well, that's pretty much all we got over there this year is kale. The borage, this is what she has actually been using this year. What have you been doing with that, dear?
I've been making my borage tea. It's supposed to help with a whole lot of issues, pain, different types of things. So that's what I've been working on.
Okay, so what we did is we let this go. We got another one we let go there. We're going to try this. This is broccoli. As you can tell, this you can really tell. We already picked the main head. This is a side shoot that we've left. You could eat that still right now, but we're going to leave it alone. We're going to try to get some seeds. We've never tried getting seeds, so we let it bolt. When I say bolt, just like the lettuce over here, how it's, instead of getting full, it's starting to run up. And then this will send off flowers, and we're going to let a couple of them do that so you can see what we're talking about. That's what this has done. It's what we call bolted. It's went from a cluster to all of a sudden spiking up and then sending out flowers. So this, basically, this pretty flower is broccoli with the yellow pretty flowers on it. So we are going to try to harvest some seeds off of broccoli this year, trying something new. So that's what broccoli looks like when you let it go too far, because every one of these little kernels in here is these kernels. So those little tight ones that you love to eat will actually get bigger and bigger till they turn into flowers. So that's where broccoli goes to before it's in. That's where it goes. That pretty much sums it up. Anything else you got for us, baby?
No, I don't.
So everything is doing well. Things are coming to an end. We're getting our seeds for next year. Other things are just starting to come to squash and green beans and stuff are just getting going. So we'll see you in about a week, and we'll let you know where we're at from there.
Okay, y'all. Y'all have an awesome day. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. When you subscribe, you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. And one more thing.
We got one more important thing. Shout out to Jonathan.
Smile for us. Talk to you guys later. Have an awesome day. Bye-bye.